Sheryl Swoopes, she can't not try to light a fire involving Caitlin Clark. She can't just be good. She's trolling Caitlin Clark again, this time by celebrating the arrival of Paige Becker.
Sheryl Swoopes just made her latest move after getting fired from the WNBA, and she didn't even have to say a word to make it loud. She walked onto Gilbert Arenas' podcast proudly wearing a Paige Bueckers t-shirt. Was it a show of support for a rising star? Not exactly. It felt more like a subtle jab at Caitlin Clark, wrapped up to look like innocent praise. Let's be real. If there's one thing Swoopes has been consistent about lately, it's her ongoing mission to downplay everything Clark achieves.
With that being said, you big dummies, you getting paid now.
Right.
You asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right?
Because let's be honest, the brighter Caitlin Clark shines, the more it seems to shake up a few former stars who just aren't ready to share the spotlight. And Sheryl Swoopes? Instead of lifting up the next generation, she's chosen the bitter path. She's not passing the torch. She's clutching. It's like it's her retirement check. But fans aren't blind. We see the pattern. And with every move, it's starting to look more desperate by the day.
We saw her get replaced during the Fever game for the Dallas Wings commentary team last year because of words and the hate she had towards Caitlin Clark. And it was just one thing after another. I said yesterday, even Stephen A. Smith crushed her last year.
This isn't about boosting Paige. It's not about growing the game either. It's just another attempt to push the same tired, worn-out narrative that Caitlin Clark doesn't belong. And let's be real. It's getting old fast.
Because when she comes to the league, regardless of what team she goes to that has vets on that team, she probably ain't gonna get 40 shots a game.
Caitlin didn't ask for the spotlight. She earned it. With record-breaking numbers, unmatched consistency, and a level of poise you simply can't teach. She didn't rise through media favoritism or political talking points. She rose because her game demanded it. No antics, no drama, just pure dominance. If you're tired of seeing WNBA veterans pulling these tired gatekeeping moves, drop a CC for MVP in the comments. Because this isn't just shady, it's strategic. And we're not here for it.
While Caitlin is fantastic, and I think she's going to have an incredible career in the WNBA.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark.
What is she doing wrong? What more do you want from Caitlin Clark? Seriously, what more do you want from her? She's focusing on the game. She lifted her team up, got them to the playoffs, won Rookie of the Year, and then also is denouncing racial tensions when she's asked about it. I'm sorry, I don't see anything more that Caitlin Clark should have done or could have done.
Let's not kid ourselves. This beef didn't just pop up overnight. Swoopes had Caitlin Clark on her radar long before Clark ever stepped onto a professional court. This isn't some random misunderstanding or a single soundbite twisted out of context. It's a full-blown campaign, a steady stream of comments, criticisms, and calculated digs, all aimed at dimming a spotlight that Clark has undeniably earned.
She was remarkable on top of the fact that she had to deal with so much hate when she got to the WNBA.
I can't imagine this young lady, I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason.
Confident.
And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative. And I was pleased and proud to see the narrative wasn't the truth.
From throwing side-eye during Clark's historic college run to downplaying her impact on the league before she was even drafted, Swoopes has made her stance painfully clear. Remember when she tried to brush off Caitlin's record-breaking NCAA tournament performance? Or how she ended up pulled from commentary roles because of her anti-Clark attitude? Yeah, even Stephen A. Smith had to step in and say, "Okay, Sheryl, this is getting ridiculous."
It was a stupid decision because it compromises what your ultimate goal is, which is to elevate the WNBA brand.
And that's not a hot take. That's an agenda. When your criticism gets so loud it ends up getting you sidelined by the networks, you know something's off. What we're seeing isn't just personal. It's professional insecurity, dressed up as analysis. Swoopes isn't worried that Caitlin Clark is good. She's scared that Clark might be better. Better ratings, a better game, and a better future for the WNBA.
That's what a lot of these women are doing, is they feel like what we have done for this game, this young player has come into our game, and she's getting way more respect and all that stuff than we are. As she should. The young girl is a baller. The young girl has people watching because of the way she can shoot this basketball like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can't dunk. Steph Curry don't do none of that in the game. He can probably dunk by himself, but he don't really do none of that in the game. He is a shooter, and fans tune in to see Steph Curry.
Clark's rookie season has already outshined some of the most legendary years in WNBA history, including Swoopes' own MVP run. That's not a diss. That's just the data. But instead of celebrating the rise of a once-in-a-generation talent, Swoopes has made it her mission to become Clark's most persistent critic. Not because of basketball, but because of control. Caitlyn's success rewrites the narrative. And Swoopes can't stand that she's no longer the one holding the...
Be mad. Never forget, in Swoopes' MVP season, she averaged less points, assists, and rebounds than Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Caitlin Clark's rookie year was quite a bit better than Sheryl Swoopes' MVP season.
So what do you do when your legacy feels threatened? You cling to relevance. And what better way to get your name trending again than by taking shots at the most? Talked about player in the game.
Jax, you're absolutely right. And I was like, come on, you big dummies. Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Right.
I can't fault her for what she was given.
So yes, the WNBA was growing before Caitlin Clark. Make that abundantly clear. But it was growing incrementally compared to the exponential growth you're seeing now.
Look at this. Still mad. Were y'all expecting anything else? And that brings us back to the t-shirt stunt. Swoopes shows up wearing Paige Bucher's name like it's just fashion? Please. She knew exactly what she was doing. This wasn't a casual nod to a rising star. This was shade, a message in cotton that says, I'll support a white player, just not that white.
What are you doing? Look at this. Just stays mad. Were y'all talking about Caitlin Clark at this very moment? She knows what she's doing.
And let's not forget, Swoopes has never thrown this kind of support behind Paige before. But the moment Caitlin Clark starts dominating headlines, suddenly, Paige is the new poster girl? Give us a break. That move was painfully transparent. Paige Bucher's fits the ideological mold the WNBA's legacy insiders prefer. Politically vocal, socially aligned, and someone they can shape. Caitlin, on the other hand, doesn't fit that mold. She doesn't play the politics, doesn't chase the causes. She just plays the game. Hard, relentlessly.
I've got a theory. Oh, look at me. I'm not really racist because I'm wearing the white girl's shirt. You see that? But the girl from the Midwest, y'all just happen to hate her completely.
And that terrifies people like Sheryl Swoopes. Because Caitlin Clark doesn't need their approval. She doesn't need to play their game. She's rewriting the rules. And
the only problem with this is, and this has been the problem the whole time with the Paige-Caitlin comparison, Paige is an activist basketball player just like these old WNBA players that's been in the league. All right? They're shilling she's all up in all the social stuff. And so that's why they're letting her in. That's why they're cool with her.
So let's stop pretending this was about Paige. This was a drive-by subtweet in t-shirt form. The oldest trick in the book. Pit women against each other to make a statement you're too afraid to say outright. But here's the problem. Fans are smarter now. They've seen Swoopes' history. They've noticed the digs. They see the pattern. So when she throws on that shirt, they don't see support. They see petty. They see projection. They see someone who's still not over being replaced as the face of women's basketball.
The reason that Caitlin Clark is getting all of this attention is because she is an anomaly. She is a phenomenal player. And Paige Bueckers is also a phenomenal player, but it just isn't the same. She doesn't do the same things. She doesn't do the things that have never been seen.